Hey guys, episode 23, part 2 of the couples retreat. Now, the episode starts where they left us off with Lauren and Sarah taking Tori aside to tell her what's been happening with Jack.
You've got the hottest wife on the show. He kissed my neck.
Now, Sarah, she's explaining the situation and she gives us more information. Apparently, when Jack was with Tim, her husband, he said to him, "Your wife is the hottest in the experiment." And when she was explaining the whole bum incident, she changed her wording. I kind of get hung up on words sometimes. So she used the word smack instead of tap.
Kind of lightly smacked my butt.
To me, I know that's a small word, but it kind of changes the whole story for me, because when someone's walking past, they could easily just tap accidentally, right? But if someone's smacking you, that's more purposeful, you know what I mean? That's more intentional. So now I'm thinking, okay, did he smack you or did he tap you? Which one is it? What's the truth here? You know what I mean? I kind of get funny when it comes to words sometimes. That's just my issue.
Try not to kiss him anywhere near the cheek anyway. This is so ridiculous. Makeup. It's awkward.
Now, as soon as Tori learns this information, she gets Jack aside and asks him what's going on. Now, obviously, he denies it, and he explains, the whole kiss on the neck. He kind of gets a bit awkward about that because he's trying to avoid the makeup. So, I can kind of understand that, especially at the dinner parties, the girls, they have their makeup on. They're not going to want to ruin it. The cameras are there. They're there for hours on end. So I sort of see it as plausible. But then I think, well, why doesn't he just give him a hug? If he wants to avoid, ruining their makeup. He could have just given her a hug, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure what I think about that. Let me know what you guys thought about that comment.
If I did brush her bum, it's an absolute accident. I can't stand Sarah. I can't stand Sarah.
Now, obviously, the whole tapping on the bum, he says was an accident, so I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's hard because I don't want to just jump to conclusions and accuse somebody of something like that. But it is hard, especially because, it's not just these two incidences. He also does things that are problematic. He always says something to upset somebody. So when you put everything together, it just doesn't look good. So I just don't know. I don't know what to think.
She's the most striking. She'd stand out the most, like a red Ferrari kind of thing.
Now, lastly, the comment about him saying Sarah is the hottest wife in the experiment. Apparently what he said was, she's striking like a Ferrari. So she'll go into a room and you can't help but notice her. So I don't know. I need to hear what Tim has to say, if he can say, yeah, he said that, or if he did say she was the hottest. I don't know. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be flirting or not, because, don't people usually like the look of a Ferrari? So does that mean he likes her look or not? So I'm not sure. I don't know.
Draining me of everything I've got, and I actually cannot do this for much longer.
Now, obviously, all this drama that happens week after week, it's starting to wear Tori down. She's getting drained from it all. But ultimately, she does still decide to stay by his side at this point. She still wants to stick by him, no matter what. She's going down with the ship.
This is the most uncomfortable I've been in these kind of settings ever.
I wish I could just feel confident.
Now, I want to take my attention away from Jack and Tori for a second, and I want to focus on the pool area, because everybody's there having a good time, but Tristan, he's feeling out of place, he's feeling awkward, he doesn't like being there, he gets uncomfortable in those sorts of situations. Now you get to a scene with Timothy, Sarah, and Lauren, and Timothy's explaining an incident from the day before, where he has encouraged Tristan to come to the pool with him, try and get him, out of his comfort zone, have a bit of fun, not to worry about the way he looks so much. And they're by the pool having a good time, and then Jack walks in. And then he decides to say, "Oh, I see the whales are here today."
And said, "Oh, I see the whales are here today."
"Oh, I see the whales are here today." Well, speaking as a professional whale myself, if he had said that, I would have told him to get f***ed. And you know what? I'll sit my fat ass down here, and if you don't like it, you can piss off. But that's me.
You know how shit it is being the only dude that has body insecurities? It's the comments like that f me up.
But Tristan, he's not like that. A comment like this can really bring him down. He struggles with his self-confidence and self-worth. He's always doubting about things. He's worrying about what people think of the way he looks. And Jack, he would know this. They've seen him on the commitment couch week after week, struggling with Cassandra about whether or not she's attracted to him. They've all seen this. Jack isn't dumb. He would know fully well that Tristan would be affected by a comment like this. And maybe to Jack this isn't a big deal, but I think to Tristan it would be. And it's very degrading, you know?
Body shaming, it's a pretty shit thing.
Now, it doesn't matter who this comment was directed at, because at the end of the day, Jack shouldn't have made a comment like this. It's just degrading, and it adds to the ever-growing list of all the shitty things that he's said.
I hung out with Tristan a lot. It's just that protective thing. And especially after the whale comment from Jack.
Now, Timothy, he's really good friends with Tristan. You know, they've developed a really strong friendship throughout the show. It's really cute to watch them. And I can see he's feeling protective over Tristan now. So he's not going to let anyone degrade his friend. I can tell you that much. You know, he's not going to stand for it at all.
You know what? You're a shit person.
Now, later that night, when everybody's sitting around the fire and the whole incident with Jack and Tim and Sarah get brought up, and I'll get back to them, but Jack has apologised to them at this point, and Timothy can't help himself. You know, he kind of speaks up and says he thinks it's a load of crap, and Jack says, I don't give a what you think, mate. And that just kicks things off.
You had the audacity to walk in and go, oh, what are the whales here today?
Now, Timothy, he calls out Jack about the comment he made at the pool, and Jack quickly responds saying, oh no, it was just a joke, it's just banter, you know. I wasn't even saying it to anyone in particular. Now, everyone calls him out. They're like, no, it's not just banter. Something like this is degrading.
These are just cheap shots. Like, there's banter happening all over the place.
But that, like, the whale comment's kind of a body image attack, and that's just not right. Like, that's not on at all.
Now, he admits he actually did make the comment. So he doesn't deny it, but he says it's out of context. And everyone's like, okay, what do you mean? What's the context? He's like, oh, I think I made it to Ridge.
Ridge wasn't there.
Timothy's like, Ridge wasn't even there. And Ridge, he's like, nah, you didn't say it to me. And the thing is, you're calling Ridge a whale? I'm sorry, has anyone seen the movie The Whale? It wasn't about a guy with a six-pack, okay?
Have I directed that at anyone?
Well,
have I directed it at anyone?
Now, when they call him out and say Ridge wasn't even there, he changes his statement saying, oh, I didn't actually direct it at anyone. I wasn't saying it to anyone in particular. I mean, I'm sorry, you're calling the air a whale? That's not something you just randomly make a statement about. You know, I'm not about to walk into a room and say, oh, how are the whales today? To, like, no one in particular. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know, he's messed up. He knows he's messed up. He's backed into a corner and he has nowhere to go. So now he's just talking crap. Because he is backed in the corner and everyone's, you know, confronting him about his behaviour again, he can't handle the heat. So he lashes out. And what does he say to Lauren again?
Shut up.
Huh?
Just shut up. I'm allowed to talk.
He tells her to shut up again. I mean, I guess it's a step up from the muzzle comment. But, you know, why does he keep telling Lauren to shut up? Everyone else was telling him that what he said was degrading. So I don't know why he keeps telling her to shut up for. I actually think it's rude to Lauren. He really needs to apologise to her for that. Again.
I'm not going to sit here and have my shit called out when it's not true. Everyone's piping in.
Now, for once, Tori isn't actually on his side. You know, she doesn't agree with what he said. She doesn't actually like the comment. And she even tries to tell him to stop. That's enough. But he's not listening. You know, he wants to say his piece and get his word out. So she's had enough. She actually gets up and leaves the group. Now, Jack, he goes over to Tori and she says to him, you know, it's been one thing after another. You know, it just keeps going on.
I've never really felt like a deep disappointment in him. But like that, I was like, why? So unacceptable.
He says, oh, but it's not with any malice. You know, it's all good. And she's like, no, I don't believe that. I think what you said was shitty. Now, Jack, he gets into a defensive mode and he's like, oh, it's one big conspiracy theory. All the grooms are out to get me. It was Timothy that heard it after all. And she's like, no. It doesn't matter who heard it. What you said was shit. It was a shitty comment.
I've got a target on my back.
But it makes you look like a idiot.
Now, she says you're looking like an idiot right now. And she is also feeling like an idiot because she can see that, you know, he's at the center of all these dramas. The group doesn't like him. You know, he says these problematic things all the time. And, you know, she keeps sticking up for him. So that makes her, you know, not look good as well. And she knows this, you know, and it's just the whole thing is draining her. But now for the first time, she's saying, you know, I can't actually support you on this. I don't agree with you.
I can't support that, Jack. I cannot support that.
So I'm curious if this changes anything within their relationship because Tori has been his personal cheerleader this whole time. But now she herself is calling out his behaviour and saying, you know, I can't support you on this. So will he reflect on his behaviour now? Or will he disregard what she's saying as well? You know, so I'm just curious, will their relationship change? You know, will it get stronger, or will this start to break their relationship down? So I'd like to hear what you guys think of all that as well.
You stand by my side.
I expect him to like put his foot down and like tell Jack like, mate, that's not on.
Now, obviously, I want to quickly touch on Tim and Sarah. So the whole episode, you have Sarah wanting Tim to step up more. You know, she wants him to support her, be by her side, stick up for her when things get bad. And he does. Even though he's not good at confrontation, he does. He calls out Jack, and he ultimately gets an apology from Jack.
You've made my wife feel uncomfortable.
Sarah?
I apologise.
And they, by the end of the episode, feel like their relationship has grown from this, that they're stronger now, that they're connecting more, that there's a shift. And they're going to leave the retreat happy. Now, obviously, you see this and you think, oh, great, you know, their relationship's going to start improving. No. Obviously not.
Really stressed about it because they're all gonna hate me. Every single one of them.
So you have Eden. Now, Eden, she's been a bit anxious the last couple of days. She's not interacting with the group that much. You know, she's wanting to hide away a bit more. And Jaden, he can see she's been more anxious than what she's ever been. Now, she has a secret she can't tell anyone. And this is making her more and more worried because she knows if she does tell people, it could ruin her friendship with people. But if she doesn't, it could ruin her relationship with Jaden because she's keeping a secret. So she's at a bit of a crossroads. Now, ultimately, she does eventually open up to Jaden, and she reveals that just before coming to the retreat, somebody texts her and asks if they can borrow some clothes because they're going out to a dinner. And when she asks them, oh, where are you going? They reveal they are meeting up with their ex. And when Jaden asks her...
Who is it?
It's Sarah.
It's Sarah. Sarah. Oh, after everything, and you think that her and Tim are going to get along? No. You know, she's basically cheating on him, which I find to be a bit hypocritical considering earlier in the episode she was saying that what Jack was doing.
It really does shit me that people can't see what's right and what's wrong sometimes. Like, Jack's married, and that shouldn't be taken lightly. That's something you shouldn't support.
Now, I find this to be very hypocritical of Sarah, especially because she was saying how Jack shouldn't take his marriage lightly. Then what the hell has she been doing? You know, you're texting your ex and meeting up with them and doing God knows what? Anyway, so this is obviously going to come out in the next episode, and I can't wait to see it because it's going to be massive drama. So I'm curious what's going to go on here because, you know, yeah. I can't wait to see it. So I'm really getting hyped up for that. And yeah, so I've got to watch that next. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode, and I'll see you in that one.